Hey. Daniel, what, bro? Wait, Daniel, can you hear me? This is an ad. Daniel, can you hear me? I don't know. This is a live stream. Bro, what? Wait, can you hear me? I don't know. Okay. That's good. Daniel, can you go on my Discord and can you tell the people to join in the live? Because I can't, because I'm using my phone as the webcam. Oh yeah, don't mind Princess in Pink Chair. My mom put it up. Hold on. Skis, because I'm not doing a face review. I'm not trying to get banned. I did. I don't know why the hell I thought that was a good idea. It's normal, but now it's what? Oh! You fucking bro. This is going to be a reacting stream right now, alright? I got a friend named me, my friend.
You don't sound like a veteran space raider. No one believes you're
War voice.
And that's why you need voice mod.
sound off of the
You may have seen him there. However, there's a
Hold on. Is it blurry a little? I don't know.
If you've been even moderately involved in the Gorilla Tag community, you have likely heard of a content creator known as Chillwit. If you're friends with any Gorilla Tag creators, particularly female creators, within your mutual connections, there's a strong likelihood that you may have seen him there. However, there's a disturbing pattern of behavior occurring behind closed doors, something deeply sickening. A group and I, dedicated to understanding the full story, has put together disturbing evidence, interviews, and patterns. This is the story of Chillwave VR, a manipulative, disgusting creep.
Okay.
For those unfamiliar with Chillwave, he is a Gorilla Tag mapper and content creator best known for creating a map titled Big Back Studios. The map showcases numerous creators, including myself. However, public perception credits Chillwave as the sole creator of the project, which is deeply misleading. In reality, the original concept for Big Back Studios was developed by two separate creators whose identities I will keep anonymous. These individuals had already made significant progress on the map and later approached Chillwave to assist with further development. While he initially agreed to help, the situation quickly took a turn. Chillwave proceeded to delete all of their existing work, restart the project from scratch, and ultimately removed one of the original creators from the project entirely, despite them being responsible for the core idea.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44. This is a first look at the current industry-leading AI app builder, and you wouldn't believe the kind of apps that people are creating. Smart nutrition apps, inventory trackers, onboarding tools.
Before I get into the evidence, I want you to understand the cycle of how Chillwave uses
Can you please give
victims.
us
This
next
cycle is
video?
a common pattern
Guys,
seen
my
within
camera turned
everyone
off,
who has been
hold on.
affected.
Okay. Gee, I'm so thank you, bro. Hold on, let me.
By him, but please note that this cycle could be wrong and is just based off of what we have seen. To begin Chillwave's cycle, he usually starts off friendly with messages such as "How are you?" or "How's it going?" Messages that you would normally see from someone. However, he begins to slowly get creepier as the person and him connect closer. He begins messaging people odd phrases like "I love you" and "love ya." If this isn't already strange, he goes further when confessing his feelings to this person he has been targeting. Keep in mind that this confession is a tactic of manipulation to get the victim to say yes based off how they feel bad for Chillwave. Usually, his interactions stop here if the person says no, but other times, it can get even further if the victim says yes. Once the two are finally quote-unquote dating, Chillwave starts out normal with the usual relationship text. However, it soon gets worse when Chillwave starts his worst stage of the cycle. He begins to make inappropriate remarks and requests. For example, one of his strange requests during this time was moaning audios, which I'll get into more detail later. As another example, he told another one of his victims that he had so callingly pleasured himself to her voice, weirding out the victim. There is much more details that I'll show later in the video, but these are just the primary examples of his actions. Soon, the victim breaks it off with Chillwave due to his weird actions. Even though he attempts to guilt trip the victim into coming back with him, she says no and breaks it off with him. But even after all of this, he goes for another girl and he repeats these steps all over again. A clear sign of a common cycle. Also, Chillwave has been known to date his victims for an average of 1 month. By looking at when the victims got together and when they separated, we can see the common pattern of half a month with every single person he dated. Now that you are aware of his creepy cycle, we can now discuss his victims and what he did to them.
Just so you know.
Chillwave has had a total of 12 discovered victims, ranging from different ages, with the youngest being only 10 years old. But Chillwave could have well over 20 to 30 victims because he has multiple old accounts on Discord that he would speak to girls on. In this chapter, I'll go over each victim with a basic rundown of the things he's done to them.
For real, bro.
Jane Doe 1. Jane Doe 1 was friends with Chillwave. It started out normal until Chillwave started talking about weird things like getting into bed with her. And it got so bad that Jane Doe 1 made another account just to get away from him. Jane Doe 2. Jane Doe 2 was friends with Chillwave, but similar to Jane 1, Chillwave started to get weird. Chillwave told Jane Doe 2 he had a crush on her and would say "I love you" to her, for example, "love you, good night," and she would feel forced to say it back. Chillwave asked Jane Doe 2 out, but she declined. Jane Doe 3. Jane Doe 3 started out as friends with Chillwave until Chillwave told Jane Doe 3 he had a crush on her. He told her he would ask her to be his girlfriend in 1 week and she should think about her answer. Chillwave would ask her every day if she made up her mind. When that 1 week passed, Jane 3 said yes, maybe out of pity. Their relationship started out normal, but just like all the other victims, Chillwave started to say really weird and creepy things. For example, Chillwave would talk about having intercourse with Jane Doe 3 at VidCon, would tell her he quote-unquote gooned to her voice, and told her he would stare at her apart at VidCon when they were alone, along with having a whole conversation with her, begging her to send him a video of her naked. Another thing Chillwave did to her is threatening to do this emoji to her, proven by these screenshots here. I'm not going to read these messages out loud because they're too disgusting, but you can read them if you'd like. Chillwave and Jane Doe 3 eventually broke up, leaving her as by far the victim who has had the most done to her. Jane Doe 4. Jane Doe 4 is friends with Chillwave. Their relationship started out normal until Chillwave got really weird with her. He started saying weird things like asking her to have intercourse. Jane Doe 5. Jane Doe 5 is friends with Chillwave. We don't know if she's a victim or not. She was put here earlier in the investigation, and we had suspicion she was a victim, and she has connections with victims, which is why she's on the list. Jane Doe 6. Jane Doe 6 is friends with Jane Doe 5, and is one of Chillwave's ex-girlfriends. She's a victim of Chillwave's disgusting acts, with him saying similar things to her, as he has said to other girls. Jane Doe 7. Jane Doe 7 was Chillwave's ex through the middle of summer. Some of the things he said were about hopping on Jane Doe 7's lap, or even having sexual intercourse with her. They seemed to have a pretty casual breakup, but around November, Jane Doe 7 said that her legs were sore from her basketball game, and Chillwave then asked to rub her legs, which is really weird because he knew that she was in a relationship. Jane Doe 8. Jane Doe 8 is one of Chillwave's ex-girlfriends. He started out normal and then started telling her inappropriate things like asking if she wanted to have intercourse soft or hard at VidCon, and how he wanted to have intercourse every day at VidCon. Jane Doe 9. Jane Doe 9 didn't date Chillwave, but is a victim of his horrible acts. The most notable piece of evidence we have about Jane Doe 9 is Chillwave asking her for moaning audios. She is only 10 years old. Jane Doe 10. Jane Doe 10 was friends with Chillwave, but just like everyone else, he started to tell her weird.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, an ad?
Love Roblox?
No.
Earn Roblox digital gift cards with Microsoft
Oh, this is
Rewards.
messed up. A Roblox
Sign up
ad
for
on
Microsoft
YouTube.
Rewards.
Weird things like, I love you. Jane Doe 11. Jane Doe 11 was friends with Chillwave. Chillwave told her that he had a crush on her, but she declined when asked to go out with him. Chillwave then proceeded to guilt trip or manipulate her into thinking he was in a bad mental state, and she said she had to quote-unquote be his therapist for an hour. Jane Doe 12. Jane Doe 12 was friends with Chillwave. It started out normal until he started saying things like how he wanted to be roommates with her. Jane Doe 12 felt really uncomfortable with this and set some boundaries. After these boundaries were set, Chillwave backed off. Obviously, there is in fact a pattern on how he would treat his victims. He would act friendly and approachable at first, and would become really creepy once he gained the victim's trust. I'm going to use censorship words in these next screenshots because my mom watches my videos. My mom's gonna watch this video. But some examples of the things he would say to his victims are, I will make you spill your blank all over the bed. I will ride you until you blank. I'm going to look at your area a bunch when we're alone. Want me to record myself gooning? Will you goon my... for me? I don't care if we are underage at this point. I can't stop thinking about your body. Could you send a picture of your butt out? This isn't even all that he has said. We probably have over 100 screenshots of terrible things that he's done. Keep in mind that he has multiple other alt accounts, so there could be hundreds or even thousands of messages he has sent. Chillwave will also try to manipulate his victims, saying he will off himself if they broke up, or how he's ugly and should die. Now to bring forward to the next chapter. Chillwave's weird and nasty remarks weren't just revolved around sexy, online talk. He even said that he wanted to do sexual actions at the largely popular VidCon event. Chillwave had multiple accounts of saying he would quote-unquote ride them at VidCon, or saying that he's gonna do it in the family restroom, or even the fact that he wanted a girl to self-pleasure him during the event. As you can see from this, Chillwave is quite the guy to say weird things, but this doesn't mean he could try to get more out of them than needed. Along with wanting to have intercourse, he said in a quote, "Just so you know, since you're not gonna let me have a picture, I'm probably gonna be looking at your area a bunch when we are alone." Now, what he means by area is most likely what you think it is, being the girl's private parts, while the pictures he wanted being nudes. He didn't stop there, as he also said, "I'm gonna make you feel really good inside and out at VidCon," which is really disgusting to say, because to say this stuff where consent is 18 in the United States is outrageous. But he didn't seem to care about that, where he says, "Low-key, I don't even care if we are underage at this point." But to sum up this chapter, Chillwave seems to have absolutely no care for his actions or what he says, even though what he says is very weird and still avoids the age of consent law. While we were in the process of writing the script for this video, we had the idea to confront Chillwave. First, we asked him if he could attend a hangout we were planning. This hangout was actually a cover-up for the confrontation. Chillwave agreed to join, and we added him to a group chat. The thing was, Chillwave didn't have his headset and couldn't join for 1 week, so we planned it for the next week on Saturday, and we waited and waited until that day came. Once that date came, I unfortunately wasn't able to show up at first, but here's when the hangout turned into the confrontation.
Even though you knew that this was making people uncomfortable, you moved on. You did it from another person to another person to another person, over and over. Is that right? Yeah. You do admit that you've done this to so many people, and that you've been weird to them and been sexual towards them, even when they didn't want it, even when they're taken. You do admit that you've done this.
He has some
Yeah.
video on
If you noticed, this granted us video proof of Chillwave admitting to doing everything he has done. After doing the confrontation, I was hit with a mysterious DM from a Gorilla Tag creator who I'll keep anonymous. Hey, I don't know if you know me, but I've heard some things about Chillwave. Do you think I could talk to you a little bit? I said yes. The creator then said, so you're making a video, correct? This might seem fine, but keep in mind that this video has been kept 100% super secret up until its release. No one outside of my group had been told I was making a video, except Chillwave. This is why I said, who gave you that info? And the creator ignored my question and said, I don't think it's the best idea to make a video. Have you ever made a mistake tons of times? You probably wouldn't want that being what people view you as. I then became really dry, giving one-word answers, because in the background, I was trying to figure out who gave him this info. I asked him where he got this info from, and he said, I have my sources, but in my group, we'll show what they said later in the video. But this screenshot was sent of a conversation between Chillwave and this creator, showing that Chillwave was in fact the person who gave this creator this information. But why? I was DM'd by tons of creators about it, who were friends with Chillwave. This is odd, right? Well, I was shown these images, showing convos between him and creators of him apologizing to them for what he's done, saying it was just a little mistake and an addiction that he needs help with. But why is he DMing people about it before the video is even released? They don't know anything. They still think he's a great guy. Well, the group I'm working with and I came up with a theory that Chillwave was DMing his YouTuber friends, trying to make himself seem like a good guy who made a simple mistake, without telling them the full story, so that when the video would be released, they'd all be there to defend him because they think he's a good guy. Remember that screenshot from earlier of a conversation between Chillwave and another creator? Well, the creator actually asked him if he planned on stopping these things, and Chillwave said no, even though he'd be telling people, I'm trying to quit. He doesn't actually plan on quitting, and he most likely plans on doing disgusting things to way more girls. And also, if you don't believe that he's not planning on stopping, recently, on January 28th, I received a DM from JaneDoe11. This DM contained a screenshot of a message from Chillwave, saying, like, bite in between my legs. But I don't want to say what. I don't want to get in trouble with myself or whatever. Now, I think it's pretty self-explanatory what he's talking about here. I then received more of these screenshots, which I'll put on screen right now. Pause and read these if you need to, because they're disgusting. These screenshots prove that he isn't planning on quitting. Also, he got a new girlfriend as of February 28th, 2026, the time I'm writing this, and she changed her status to a lot of odd things, which probably means that he spoke dirty to her. Today, well, yesterday at the time of when this vid is out. So, if you see Chillwave at an event like VidCon, or GTubers, or G-Talkers, or anywhere really, do not approach him. And if you have him added on Discord, I suggest that you unadd him, because he doesn't plan on changing, and he is lying to his friends about trying to change. In conclusion, Chillwave has spoke sexually to 12 discovered victims, asked a 10-year-old for a moaning audio, told these girls he wanted to have intercourse with them at VidCon, threatened...
Yeah, Chillwave is weird. Alright, let's see this Pinocchio. How do you spell that? This one. Oh, this one. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. This was
Playing on iPhone? Now you can play Unlocked on PC with Google Play Games. Unlock bigger screens.
It's always hard losing someone you love. I'm sorry I had to experience all that so young.
I wish Zach was still here. It doesn't feel the same anymore.
Oh no. Oh my knees, no. I love horror movies. I want to watch this if the movie came out.
Come down, there's someone here I want you to meet. I just thought you could use a friend. This could be good for the both of you. It's alive.
It's like white boys that made different from you. Organs and stuff.
I want to be just like you.
Nah, you don't. You're way cooler than me.
Take what they have, piece by piece, to make yourself
Oh!
What James' store?
What's up, mate?
One hell of a glow up, kid.
Think Chapito is hiding something.
My belief that the soul does indeed remain after death.
Call the police. Well, tell them what, Dudley, that a homicidal doll is on the loose?
The subject is dangerous, born evil.
I'm going to be a real boy. I'm going to be just like James.
Without you!
What the heck? Yo,
Let's
Jackson, what you
give
get
you
me
a smile.
Oh, nah. I'm home with these. Oh, nah. That, That's creepy. Ugh. How do I go back?
You may have seen him there. However,
In Marvel, sure. What, like in a few hours, I'm gonna go live on VR. Alright. Let's watch this one.
Okay, great. Wait, were you even
This
listening?
is the most
You haven't taken a
terrifying
single note
prisons
this
in the
entire
world.
meeting?
Let's see this.
Let's start with the scary and slowly work our way towards the ones that are basically hell on earth. Number 10, San Quentin State Prison. San Quentin State Prison is a maximum security facility in California and is one of the most notorious prisons in the world. Many well-known inmates have been incarcerated here, from Charles Manson to serial killers like the Night Stalker and the Freeway Killer, as well as numerous gang leaders. Now, what really makes this prison so terrifying is that anyone who comes in is heavily pressured to join a gang. Now, you don't really have the choice to choose which one. You just simply take a look at your skin and sort yourself accordingly. And if you're caught at the wrong place at the wrong time, well, you better hope to be an ethnically ambiguous person, giving you enough time to get into your fighting stance before getting shanked. The reason why this infamous prison sits at the very top of the list is simply because it has changed so much in recent years. Today, inmates can be found gardening, playing kickball, performing concerts, and taking yoga and art classes. There are also many educational programs to help inmates secure jobs once they're released, like plumbing courses, culinary programs, and coding classes, ensuring that they will be better off than most Americans. Number 9, San Pedro Prison. San Pedro Prison, located in La Paz, Bolivia, is one of the most unique and overcrowded prisons in the world. It was designed to house 600 inmates, but it currently holds around 3,000. This doesn't take into account the countless women and children who live within its walls, as many inmates choose to bring their families with them. Now, what makes this prison so unique is the fact that there are no guards or government officials inside. It's entirely governed by the inmates themselves. And honestly, it looks more like a neighborhood than an actual prison, just surrounded by a large wall. Police never enter and only guard the perimeter, deciding who can come in and out. The Bolivian police could actually care less about anything that happens inside the prison walls. They claim that it's a new and progressive way of running a prison, but it's obvious that they simply don't want to work. Now, interestingly enough, the boss of the prison is elected by the inmates. The boss then chooses his soldiers who will enforce the rules. The enforcers are easily spotted by their uniforms, wearing all black Adidas tracksuits, which I must admit is genius. Not only do the uniforms make them look professional, but they're also very practical, since you never know when a game of soccer could break out. But let's talk about what makes this prison so scary. The main problem here is the abundance of drugs, which are conveniently made in manufacturing labs inside the prison. It's estimated that as much as 60% of inmates are addicted to at least one. Coca leaves soaked in chemicals and cocaine are two of the most popular drugs abused, which can eventually lead to insanity. Not for the addict, but for anyone who has to suffer by listening to them. The two most common ways people die within the prison are either from drug overdoses or murder. Number 8. Bang Kwang Central Prison. Bang Kwang Central Prison is a maximum security prison located in Thailand. The prison houses inmates who are serving long sentences, typically 30 years or longer, life in prison, and those who are awaiting execution, since this is the only prison in the country that administers lethal injection. The majority of inmates are currently serving time for drug-related crimes. This includes many foreigners who had the genius idea of attempting to smuggle drugs out of the country, only to be caught in a place known for having some of the harshest penalties in the world for drug possession. In Thailand, drug smuggling can easily get you life in prison or even the death penalty. But let's talk about the prison and what makes it so scary. On arrival, new prisoners must get their legs chained and welded together. And if you don't have the bribe money for the blacksmith, the chains will be welded tighter than necessary, causing extreme discomfort, wounds, and infections. The chains must remain on for the first 3 months. After this period, the chains are removed by sawing off the inmate's legs. Just kidding, the chains are easily removed. Another reason why this prison is so awful is the food. Here, inmates receive 1 meal per day, a bowl of plain white rice. But if they're lucky enough, they might get a bowl of fish head soup, which isn't sufficient enough to meet nutritional needs. So inmates resort to capturing rats and eating them. Rat meat is so valuable that it serves as a form of currency in the prison. For example, a bowl of rat soup can be traded for cigarettes, snacks, Pokemon cards, or an entirely different meal. Guards excessively beating inmates and drug abuse is also very common inside the prison. Number 7. CCOT. CCOT in El Salvador is the largest prison in the Americas, currently housing around 15,000 inmates, but capable of holding up to 40,000. It houses 2 of El Salvador's most dangerous and illegal gangs, MS-13 and Barrio 18, which were easily captured since their affiliations were conveniently written on their faces. In the free world, the 2 gangs are engaged in a deadly war, killing each other without hesitation. But here, inside the prison, they're forced to live together and are expected not to cause a single problem. If they do, they are taken to solitary confinement, a dark isolation cell entirely made of concrete, where they will be left for a minimum of 15 days, but possibly much longer. So what makes this prison so scary, you might ask? Well, for starters, most of the prisoners will never be released. They're also not allowed visitors and will likely never step foot outside of the building again. However, they do...
Yo, I heard on Phantom's video, they said like they get sent to jail, like their family or like their friends don't know where they went. Like if they get calls, like yeah, they don't know. They don't even know if they're in prison.
Get 30 minutes of exercise per day, but even that takes place inside the building, only a few steps away from their cell. But the most controversial and terrifying aspect of it all is that a small percentage of the prisoners are completely innocent and were never part of a gang to begin with. They were arrested by the police or military to meet their daily quotas. This has captured the attention of many large publications from around the world, but to this day, the issue remains unresolved. Number 6. Rikers Island. Rikers Island is the most violent and dangerous jail in the US. In 2022, there were 491 incidents of inmate-on-inmate stabbings and slashings. The jail is also ridiculously overcrowded and unsanitary, with inmates describing the living conditions as pure hell. But I'm just not buying it, since 42% of inmates quickly return to crime after their release, eager to get back to Rikers for an extended stay. Now, the reason why Rikers is so dangerous is simply because of its lawlessness. The prison often leaves entire units unsupervised. This is because on any given day, a third of the correctional officers either call out or don't show up at all, leaving inmates to run the units however they see fit. They have actually been caught admitting to running gambling rings and fight clubs, which really goes to show why they ended up in jail in the first place, since they can't even follow the first rule of their own club. But not only is this jail the most dangerous for inmates, it is also the most dangerous for correctional officers. In 2022, there were over 1,500 cases of assaults on officers and workers. That's an average of at least 4 per day, making this place pure hell for anyone who even steps into the building. Number 5. Black Dolphin Prison.
Bruh.
This game, you're not ready for.
Black Dolphin Prison is one of the most terrifying prisons in the world, only housing inmates that are serving life sentences. It is located at the edge of Siberia, Russia, near the border of Kazakhstan. Now, at first glance, you might confuse this prison with SeaWorld, seeing that there are multiple statues of dolphins outside the building. But that is a prison in the US. Here, inmates arrive blindfolded, and once inside the prison, they are quickly bent over. Chill, don't get too excited. They are then walked to their new cells. This is done to disorient the inmate, preventing them from memorizing the layout of the prison. So in the unlikely event that the inmate escapes from his cell, they will get lost in the labyrinth, encountering many puzzles and riddles. Each cell has 3 metal gates and is under 24/7 video surveillance. Once inside, inmates are required to stand all day long, approximately 16 hours per day. They cannot sit or lay down until it's time for bed. They do, however, get 90 minutes of outdoor activities, which of course just means that they are brought outside and placed inside of a slightly larger cage. The prison houses 700 of Russia's deadliest and most psychopathic criminals, who have a combined murder count of around 3,500 people, or an average of 5 murders per inmate. Number 4, ADX Florence. Easily the most terrifying prison in the US is ADX Florence, a maximum security prison located in Colorado's Rocky Mountains. This supermax prison only houses the most dangerous criminals in the world, such as the Unabomber, the Shoe Bomber, the disgusting Underwear Bomber, and of course, the drug kingpin El Chapo, just to name a few. Here, these inmates are kept locked in their cells in isolation for 23 hours a day. They're only allowed 1 hour of exercise per day inside of another steel cage. This, as you can imagine, can have a mental toll on prisoners, completely breaking them and leaving them with permanent psychological issues. Since the prison opened in 1995, there has never been an escape or even an attempt, as it is basically impossible. You see, the cells are entirely made of concrete, equipped with motion detectors and 24/7 video surveillance, all behind a steel door. Outside of the cells are 1,400 remotely controlled doors, pressure pads, and laser beams that detect any unauthorized movement. Outside, you will find tall perimeter fences topped with multiple rows of razor wire and more motion detectors. Then, of course, there are the countless sniper towers that watch over the entire compound, eagerly awaiting for their chance at target practice. Then finally, there are multiple entry and exit points that are heavily guarded. In short, there is no way out, and inmates know it, which only adds to the feeling of dread and hopelessness, making this not only a physical prison, but also a mental one. Number 3, Diyarbakir Prison. Diyarbakir Prison in Turkey has to be one of the most sick and twisted prisons on earth. The prison has a long history of torture and psychological abuse against its prisoners. As early as the 1980s, there were thousands of reports of torture and over 100 deaths attributed to it. But I'll just cover some of the most common methods that were used, or else we'd be here all day. Prisoners endured severe beatings, were stripped naked, blindfolded and hosed with high-pressure water. They were placed in isolation cells for days, starved, hung by their arms, and forced to stand for long periods. They also received electric shocks, burnings, and the extraction of healthy teeth and nails, as well as having their limbs crushed. But perhaps one of the strangest torture methods involved the captain's dog, which was trained to bite the genitals of naked prisoners. Then there was the psychological torture, like the one they called the disco. Every new prisoner was thrown into the prison sewers and would be left there for several hours. Now, thankfully, today most of these torture methods are no longer in use, but some remain. They've just gotten better at covering them up. Reports continue to emerge of prisoners being tortured, beaten, and forced to live in inhumane conditions inside cells that are infested with cockroaches and disease. Number 2, Antananarivo Prison. While some prisons are notorious for their violence or psychological torment, Antananarivo Prison in Madagascar is terrifying for its overcrowding and disgusting living conditions. The prison was built to house around 800 inmates, but today it holds around 4,000. As you can imagine, diseases and bacteria run rampant here, with visitors stating that you will smell the place before you ever see it. Now, when I say that the place is overcrowded, I'm not just talking about the inmates. The prison is completely infested with cockroaches, rats, lice, and fleas, with the majority of prisoners completely covered in bites from head to toe. Once 5 p.m. strikes, prisoners must enter their cells for the night, which are just small rooms with a connecting toilet shared by all the inmates. The door is locked from the outside, and the room's temperature can quickly surpass 100 degrees. The majority of inmates sleep on the floor, tightly packed like sardines. They are actually so close together that no one can turn around. But every so often, someone will clap a few times, and the entire row of inmates will turn simultaneously to sleep on the opposite side. But hold on, just as you think it couldn't get any worse, it somehow does. Any prisoner who causes trouble is quickly thrown into one of the isolation chambers, called the hellhole. The room's floor is completely covered in human feces, urine, rat carcasses, and trash, living up to its name. And thanks to the large rat problem in the prison, outbreaks of the Black Plague are common and have killed many prisoners throughout the years. Number 1, Camp 14. Kachon Prison, also known as Camp 14, is located in North Korea and is absolutely terrifying. In every prison in the world, criminals usually end up there because they committed a crime. But Camp 14 is very different. Here, there are 40,000 prisoners condemned to a lifetime of hard labor. And the sad part is that many of them are women and children, including children as young as toddlers, who never broke the law. Their only mistake was that they were related to a person who committed a political crime. This can be anything from criticizing the regime, attempting to escape from the country, practicing a prohibited religion, or even showing any behavior that is seen as disloyal to the regime. Conditions in the camp are atrocious. Starving prisoners resort to eating raw frogs, mice, rats, snakes, worms, squirrels, and even grass. But if the prisoner is caught eating any other food than the food that they are given, they can be shot on the spot. Starvation is one of the most common ways people die in the camps, which is one of the worst ways to go out. First, their teeth begin to loosen and shake before eventually falling out. The person's bone structure deteriorates, and their entire body swells with water, a condition known as edema. Ultimately, the person inevitably dies. Dying from diseases is also very common. Prisoners can contract pellagra, tuberculosis, hepatitis, gastric disorders, and even develop frostbite from the freezing temperatures. And for prisoners that can no longer take it anymore and end up taking their lives, even that will carry a punishment. If that person had any relatives working at the camp, they will be punished for what they did. So let's cover some of the most common punishments that are used in the camp. Brutal beatings, stress positions, and isolation cells are all used. But if the officers are not in the mood, firing squad executions can come without warning. Now, the crazy part is that Camp 14 is just one of many political prison camps in North Korea, and it's estimated that there are around 200,000 prisoners living and working in these camps right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Toddlers, bro? Are you for real, bro? Alright.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made.
Today, we've got a real entry into Scumbag of the Year. It's Racist Karens. You will not believe how genuinely horrible this old male Karen is when he doesn't get his own way.
What are you f***ing doing here? You telling me what to do? I belong here. You don't.
Oh my days.
Stop. Hold on. What's that supposed to be? What I just said. What's that supposed to be? He's telling me what to do. No, I heard your words. You said it. You heard what I said. I belong here. No, listen to me. I'm talking to you. I'm trying to get served. Got nothing to do with you. Go away. Got nothing to do with you at all. I'll knock your ass out.
Exactly. The man's doing his job. It's not about where he comes from.
Listen. Seriously?
Yeah? Don't start on me because I was born here, alright? Don't serve him. Do you know what?
He rings the bell.
So what? Doesn't matter. You're using abusive language throughout the whole shop. There's kids in this shop and you're swearing like mad. Who wants to serve you? That's exactly it.
I come here every night and don't...
So what? You're walking around swearing. Who wants to serve you? Damn cheek. How about where are you from? No, I don't serve him. This is out of order. Damn cheek.
Damn cheek.
Face the man coming to be cussing people and telling about...
I'm not going to serve you.
No.
You shop a lot.
Good. Well done, guys.
You wankers. This is what a country's in state is in.
That's right. Sort it out, MP.
A bar is usually somewhere you can go to relax, take a load off with your friends, but I can guarantee that there's no one having fun when this racist Karen is around.
Hi. Hi. She's recording me.
So
Which one? Right here. That's all you guys are gonna have. Did she say red? Why are you recording me though? Why are you recording me though? Nobody's recording you. She was recording me. She was literally recording.
You're recording right now.
That's who I am, yeah. They're ugly. They're so ugly.
Bro,
Like,
look at your hair.
Go on your reservation. Go on your reservation. Oh my
Imagine having the delusion to go into an Asian tea shop and tell them that they stole tea. Karen here needs to relearn her history.
I have a question. Is this black owned?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Alelia?
Yeah, Taro Slush.
Got you. It's coming up right now.
Okay. I have a question. Are you guys black owned?
We're Indonesian.
Okay, do you think using this, you guys are not using black culture to gain attention and gain customers? You don't think this is black culture? Is this Asian? Is this Asian culture?
The commie house is definitely an Asian culture. That's
No, but it's the trap house though. Is that Asian
not a
culture?
trap house.
Yes, it is.
That's the
Trap tea.
I can show you where it's at.
Trap
I can show you where it's at.
Trap tea? That's not a trap house.
Trap
How
tea, the
stupid
boba
are
plug.
you?
You're using black culture to gain customers. This establishment is not black owned, but you're stealing black culture. Is this not black culture? Trap tea, the boba plug? No, you're thieves. Asian people stealing black culture once again. It's okay, you'll be exposed though. You're not black owned. You're stealing black culture. You're stealing black culture. No, I came here because I thought it was black owned. That's why I came here. I told my friends I'm supporting a black business. This is not black owned. This is not black owned.
So?
Asian stealing.
This is not stealing, bro.
Once again, you're a coon. Don't talk.
I'm a coon.
You already spent money. You already spent money on him.
You already spent money on him.
Because I'm tired of people. Because you're a coon.
The confidence that this racist Karen has in what she says about certain members of this protest is crazy. I think she needs to keep her opinions to herself.
Right. I feel bad for black people. Like, they have to, like...
Wait, so that, what does that have to do?
Why does it
Wow! Wouldn't you want to call someone a token black because you're supporting
Yes, you're a token black.
Okay,
Yes.
but your friend is
Yes.
here to
I'm a
call you
racist.
black
I'm a
woman, right?
racist now. I'm a racist
Did I say
now.
that, ma'am?
Yes.
No,
I'm
no,
a
no, no. Please
racist.
go back. Watch
I'm a
the tape.
KK racist.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Oh my
Get
gosh.
People low-key piss me off.
Out Get out.
Like,
You love
I feel so bad for black people experiencing racism from Triple K members.
People near this racist male Karen and his
Like,
hot-headed
bro.
views. He needs to cool off.
My name is Stephen Gentry.
No one here gives shit if your name's Steven, bro.
So prick. You dummy. You stupid mother. You read? You ignorant.
From one bad neighbor to another, you will be shocked once you hear why this woman accuses her neighbor of stealing her parcel.
I am not happy. I'm tempted to check your pockets. In fact, I'm calling the police.
You can call who you like to call, ma'am, but I gotta go.
No, you're not.
We're not intimidated, bro. Call the damn police.
You know this lady?
You are not going
You might want to
anywhere.
get this lady. You know her?
She just slammed that package and was told what she got it already.
Okay, well, I didn't
You
check
are
the
not
package.
going anywhere.
Well, I didn't check the package. She need to call Fetch.
We're not intimidated by you, ma'am.
She's not gonna hit me. And if she touch me, I'm gonna knock her out. I'm just letting you know.
I've taken a picture of you.
You can take all you want. I am filming you right now. Cause you are
I don't
really.
believe you. You stole my
Don't hit
mama.
me, ma'am. Don't you hit me.
Holy. Chill the hell out.
Anything from
I'm
you.
reporting this to the landlord.
I don't care what you do. I didn't see anything from you.
Everybody in this hallway is
I really don't care.
Everybody, Fetch is a bunch of thieves.
You need to get you some
Dang.
medication.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, you
need
do.
to do your job. I am
You want me
definitely
to smile?
100% reporting you. You stole my jewelry out of this package.
Girl,
I am
I'm
not
happy.
happy. Empty your
Damn.
pockets.
I'm not answering nothing. And I have to go.
If you have nothing to
Could you
hide,
please
then
get her?
listen, you have nothing to
Loki
hide.
I'm not
piano.
proving anything to you. Not a thing.
Actually, you
If
do.
you touch me, I'm
'cause
gonna
it's
knock you
all
out.
over online that Fetch
If
steals
you
stuff.
touch me, I'm gonna knock you out.
Empty your pockets.
I'm not emptying
Damn,
anything,
chick.
ma'am.
Ow. Holy crash out. She's getting
You sure
rage
are.
baited.
You might want
Yeah,
to get her.
take her, bro.
You stole my stuff.
Crazy.
I am reporting you for stealing my package.
Do whatever it is you have to do, ma'am.
At this point, she's just embarrassing herself at this point, bro.
Reporting this to Fetch.
Why would I steal your package and go give it to you?
Servicing. It was empty when I got it. I'm not happy. It was beautiful jewelry and you stole it.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. File a report. Why would I give you an empty package if I steal it? Crazy. All right. Thank you, ma'am. I was gonna knock her out if she touched me.
Watch what lengths this racist Karen will go to discipline a guy whose only crime is to wear a BLM t-shirt. What happens at the end of this clip is insane.
Take that damn shirt off and leave. Okay. I don't care if you don't like my shirt. Are you really racist right
In
now?
front of their kid is crazy.
No, you are. You want me to take my shirt off? I'm not gonna take my shirt off.
Bro. Yeah, get your grandbaby out of here, bro. There's another kid, too. He's just enjoying his ice cream, bro.
Oh, here, Parks, you stand right here. What did you say?
You heard me.
Wait, what'd she say?
Just give me
You're not,
this
no,
shit.
no. You stay right here. Stay, you racist. You racist. You
Right,
racist.
cuss her out, cuss her out.
You gonna say that in front of my daughter?
In front of his daughter, too?
Her mother's black. You don't say that shit.
Yo, what's up, Water?
I wish you would touch me. Call the police. You're not going.
In front of kids is crazy.
Call the police, please. I'm not moving. She just hit me.
Damn.
Back me up. Back into me.
Yeah, drive away.
We've got a Karen
Crazy.
who calls the cops based on a guy's skin color. I'd be more interested to see what the police put on their charge sheet after this encounter.
You calling the cops because I'm black? Is that what it is?
No.
Okay, why are you calling the cops?
You're in front of my neighbor's house. You need to leave.
Why do I need to leave?
You need to leave.
You have a reason to be here.
Oh, do you know?
Tell me what happened first. So right now we are watching 18 minutes of racist Karens, and then I just watched hold on. I watched Chill Wave, the weird video, and then I watched the trailer, and then I watched the Most Deadly Prison, right? And I'm watching this one now.
Who are you? Huh? Karen. Is your name Karen? Is your name Karen? Go ahead, call the cops. I'll wait for the cops, actually. I have no problem on that. Y'all gonna learn to stop messing with black people. You gonna learn to stop messing with black people. That's what you're gonna learn. Just because I'm black and I ain't bothering you.
Bro.
You think I'm a threat? Because if I was white, you probably wouldn't call the cops. Call the cops.
Not yet.
Tell Mr. Black Male.
Yet. That's
about
facts.
5'7".
That's facts, actually.
I know. Black male, 5'7". You know, heavy set build.
With
Oh my
Google
God, I
Play
just got an
Games,
ad.
You can play
What is this?
unlock bigger screens.
Black male, heavy set, 5'7", brown eyes. If you need a description. Bothering you? Yeah, call the police.
Crazy. Crazy work. Crazy work.
Like you owe them an explanation. What's bothering you? Get from out of here. Just call the police. I'm not bothering you. Tell them I'm a black male, about 5'7". About 5'7". Tell them you came and bother me for no reason. Yeah, tell me you can't bother me for no reason. You don't know what I'm doing here. You don't know what my business is here. Yeah, you can. Tell the police come on out here. No, I'm talking loud. I'm not yelling. I'm talking loud so you can hear me. So I don't want to get you. No, I'm not approaching you. I'm staying a distance away. But I want you to give the police the correct information.
Crazy.
No, I am 37 years old. 37. I am 30. Yeah. Yeah, I'm minding my business, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. 5'7". 5'7". Huh?
Crazy.
Yeah, heavy set. You can say that. Yeah, that's about right. I'm wearing a gray shirt with Jordan on it. Yeah, I'm wearing a gray T-shirt with black pants. I also have on Jordan 3s. I have retro Jordan 3s on as well. I have a baseball hat that says Houston on it. Yeah.
Almost what? Almost
yeah,
what?
but I'm not approaching you though. Yeah, I do. For my protection. No, I'm minding my business. You being obnoxious. I'm not walking towards you. I'm not walking towards you. I'm what? Oh, you lying. Tell the police gonna come out here.
Sorry, I don't see a weapon.
Yeah, you don't see a weapon. Tell the police gonna come out here. Tell them bring Art Acevedo out here too. Yo, are they bringing Art Acevedo out here? We can do this all day.
You got 33. That's still
okay,
good.
They on their way?
You can keep
I
on.
got no battery. So she feel like you gotta bother people. See black people in your neighborhood. You ain't used to seeing black people, so you gotta say, "Oh, what you doing here?" Nobody bothering you. Well, you don't need to be here. Matter of fact,
seriously,
if your ancestors didn't bring my ancestors over here, I wouldn't be here. Blame your ancestors.
Seriously,
I don't need to be here.
Imagine being so entitled that you could question the people that you employed, whether they're illegal immigrants or not. Well, this Karen certainly is.
Let's see. Somebody's trying to do anything for you.
optional? No, I'm Arab.
I'm not lying. You didn't hire me. You didn't hire me.
Your country?
Oh, that's great. I'm down with you. Hey, hey.
The phrase, love your neighbor, certainly doesn't seem to be the case for this racist Karen, especially once you see what she's holding.
The
What
dog
is she holding?
attacked my
A
dog.
taser?
The dog's not even outside, ma'am.
He was outside. He was in front here.
He didn't attack the dog. I have it on camera.
Hispanic?
You know what?
What?
You guys are acting like black people. You should act like black people.
We what?
I was raised in Oklahoma around
Wait,
black
can
people.
you repeat that one more time? We're acting like what?
I was raised in Oklahoma City, where there were tons of black people.
But we're acting like what?
You're acting like people that aren't normal.
Okay. This will be
You're
real
acting like
nice
people that
when
aren't
you're on the news, when you're on social media, get the fuck off
Get
the
off our
property.
property. Get off our property.
You know, I have a top secret clearance. You know what
give
these
a
people are?
bitch. Get the fuck off the property.
Go back in the house. Go back in the house.
Oh shit. Ow.
Since we're acting
I
like
just poked
black
my eye.
Right?
Ow,
We're
ow,
acting like
ow.
black people, and that's not normal.
People don't act like you do.
How are we acting? How are we acting? You came over here with a taser.
Oh, I
I
knew it
came
was.
over here because your pit bull attacked my little
He
dog.
didn't attack your dog. Not at all.
Ow.
Your son was out here with him.
And he didn't attack the dog. The dog, I saw the dog. I saw you pet the dog. You
I
pet
didn't
the dog.
pet the dog. I just pet the dog.
Ow.
You didn't pet the dog, but you pet the dog because you wanted to see if he was okay.
Why don't you record all this?
I am recording it. You about to be famous.
You know what? You're gonna go.
You're about to be famous. Where am I gonna go? Where am I gonna go?
You're gonna go to hell.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna sue the hell out of you, both of you.
All right.
All of you.
All right.
Get out. Hello.
Hey.
Where are you?
Right over here.
How you doing? Hello. Hi, honey. Cool.
Bro, who is calling?
Your dad says it's okay.
Ugh. Crazy.
Playing on iPhone?
Crazy. Crazy and crazy. Crazy. I've been almost streaming for an hour already, bro. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna end the stream here. Alright. I will be doing more streams like this soon. I'm gonna go live in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Or 20 minutes. Scary Baboon in Animal Rifles. Maybe Gorilla Tag or another game. But yeah. Fun stream. I will be doing more like this. Maybe a face reveal soon. Maybe. But yeah.